Alright guys, Supreme Kami here, and today we are going to be doing the alteration review for the SHBU Ignite Gundam here. So we are back at it again with another melee build for the last 2 months or so, right? I think, right? I believe so. We got FX, the Red Dragon, the Banshee Norn Turn 8 Unicorn. So even Double X Ampion, yeah, over the last month or two, they just dropped consistent melee. So yeah, so as far as should you guys summon, I really do think it's gonna dictate whether or not any of these part may be something you're looking for. If you are looking for any specific part in here, you guys might as well do at least 1 or 2 multi-summon to see if you guys in one either get it, but most importantly to secure yourself the L badges, because you guys already know it's quite hard to have the L badges from time to time. Granted, they really have not updated the shop. They have not really dropped any viable way to get it. So if you guys feel like the Night Unicorn is something you really need, do some summoning. There's just no other way for me to tell you guys how to get them because there isn't. In terms of this overall unit, what I like right off the bat is this is not a big scale. So if you take a look at the overall roster so far, they dropped big scale, big scale, big scale. When was the last time they did not? It was, I believe, the Aerials, right? And then the other one was the TR60 Heisendrai 2 Ratu, and then the S Gundam booster unit. So that was like, this one is like way back in August as well. So yeah, consistent flow of big scale does not do any good for us at all. So I'm kind of glad that this one is a normal scale. So that's good. That is definitely a positive change already. Another thing that I kind of spotted already is that the stat distribution is heavily melee geared towards that, so it's good. But it's just the way they had the stat distribution is kind of good but bad at the same time, right? But yeah, without any further ado, let's just kind of hop in and see what's going on. So these are the stat distribution. I think every part we will be looking from the head part all the way down to the shield. You guys will find that every part has incredibly high armor, so that's kind of sacrificed into that slot specifically. In terms of the shot defense, you won't really see it, so this right here signifies that this is truly a melee based build. Tag wise as well, close combat and protect, so you guys do know what's going on. Head part trait with saber category equipped, enemy melee damage plus 50%, so that's pretty good. When buff the EXQ or buff EXQ effects up by 35%. So what does this one sounds like to you guys? Something that we have probably gotten before. Where is it at? Right here, the Epion Endless Vault version DP attribute. So pretty much the same thing, with the exception that I feel like the Epion might be a little bit harder to achieve because transformer tag, while you can say that is not the not hard to get used anymore, like kind of activated, but from time to time people might still struggle. So having the same property, same portrait wise, better tags, man, and not big scale, okay, yeah, this is good. Yeah, I feel like this one definitely is a better of the two if you guys are kind of comparing like just what we have. So this one is definitely not bad. So I do feel like this one would deserve the alteration. Non-big scale does have alternative attribute, so overall it's a pretty positive. I need to put that as no. Yep, that gotta be no. So this one is still good. It's just the stat. Unfortunate, they do give you a very low base melee attack. So when you do a conversion rate of the really high shot defense or the melee defense, it doesn't really make up for it. So that is the unfortunate factor that you guys will soon find out throughout every parts. Head part definitely do suggest if you guys do have it. It definitely is really useful. It's gonna allow you to do that extra big damage in my opinion, so pretty good. Heading down to the torso, yeah, look at those armors, almost at 15,000 on a single part. That's crazy. Shot attack, shot defense are pretty much non-existent, and then in terms of the base melee attack, it's too low. They got to make this at least like 6,000, mid 6,000 to make this one more competitive, because of what we're seeing as far as the torso is down here, right? You do have 11,000 melee defense per se, but 40% off that, it just don't cut it. So that's unfortunate, right? You do have great tags, pro tag, close combat. This one does have EXQ, so I just feel like the investment for this one is just quite low. Especially with the stat distribution that they're providing. But if you guys do want a part with ridiculously high armor, this one is definitely the way to go. But other than that, since this one does have an EXQ, not the best stat possible. So this one, if you guys were able to pull it, this one I think is something that you can definitely hold off onto. Just don't illustrate it. I don't think it's necessary. Moving into the arms, it's going to be the same thing. You do have some pretty good armor, right? 13,500. So that's actually respectively high. Shot attack, shot defense, once again, it's pretty much not there. In terms of the base melee defense, they're actually really high. But I just feel like the base melee could be higher. Anything between, I don't know, like mid 14,000 would definitely make this one a whole lot better. You do have 10k shot defense or melee defense. You think that's good, but 40% off that is just not impressive at all. Just make it. So that's why we are gonna land right here, just well within like the top, well within the top 20, but just not high enough. This one does have, you know, the premium tag once again, the pro tag, close combat, the generic melee build tag, so pretty easy to use, right? As far as the portrait, is actually wouldn't be the worst, right? You do have the enemy EXQ penetration reduced by 80%. So this is like a new portrait language that not like a completely brand new language, but this is like the same thing I think we have for like a very long time. It's just that the amount they're like, you know, buffing up to like a really high number. I think we have people, I personally have not tested it myself, but I think we have people that tested out that the EXQ penetration reduced is not really, how would you say it? It doesn't really make your enemy do less damage in a way, right? So we were like, I think what we're speculating, if the enemy has, you know, the piercing EXQ, for example, like they should be doing next to 0 damage, for example, something like that. But it's just not, it's not really that meta in a sense where you can completely tank stuff. So it's not really good, unfortunately. It's gonna be really situational when you build up upon maybe many more percentage. Like if you pair this one up alongside maybe the Gundam Double X Shield, the newest one, that one has up to 180%. You add this one, now you're up to 260%. But even then, I really can't tell you guys, is it really good or not? It's just that I think in today's meta, we have so many things that is like power booster related, damage trade related. So I just don't think there's anything that can reduce damage that much in a way. So that's that. This one is definitely good. Industry charge, this is always going to be very important, but just pairing it with this one, I think in the current state of the game is not really too useful, right? So this one is definitely good for the stat sticking, but anyway, so we just have better parts. So still not gonna be good, all right? It's just still gonna be a little bit too short. Just this unit is short, but overall, I think the overall kit just fell short in terms of the stat department. Tag wise, it is good, but it's just that it's lacking in a few areas. Legs, I definitely do feel like it's a good redemption because this one does come with a completely brand new EXQ. 14,000 for armor, that's really good. Melee is low, like only 4,500. You gotta bump this up to like at least maybe like mid 5,000, then we'll be talking. But this one is low. I mean, like, it's only 1,000 from the whatever the top one is, so it's not that. No, never mind. The top one is 11,000. Never mind. Yeah, it's, come on, man. They gotta bump these stats up. It's not making the cut. I know this one is like a armor base type deal, but still, it's like, come on, man. But the EXQ triple S power. Yeah, this one got 5 different effects. Okay, let's kind of get through it. You have HP recovery to your squad, melee attack up to your squad, melee and shot defense up to your squad, and also you got everything. You pretty much boost everything except for shot attack and then armor, or they have armor. So this one is good. This one does literally everything you would ever want to ask for. And I don't know if this one is awakenable or not. So for those that have pulled the leg part per se, let us know down in the comment section below, is this one an awakenable or not, because people do want to know. People also do want to know, can I pair this up with some other EX gear that are, let's say, awakenable? Also, this one does erase debuffs, so yeah, this one is a magical leg EX gear, or just effects so far. This is crazy. It's good. All right, so on to the back part we go. So yeah, once again, the armor is extremely high, but man, base melee, please be higher. Why? I don't know. Shot or the melee defense is good, but my gosh, the base melee is crazy, man. It's too low. As far as the back part EX skill, we have the Super Electro Spear, so it's gonna be pumping out a D power 8 minus. So gonna be another one of those EX skill that you don't necessarily need to alterate to be hitting hard, because it's already going to be hitting hard at presumably at B plus power. But as far as the stat, it's gonna fall right here, so you are pretty low on the roster. Tag wise, close combat and then heavy armor. So heavy armor is gonna come into play very nicely as we continue to take a look at the other part. But that's that. Let's kind of go over to the melee weapon now. 14.8k for the base melee attack, so could be higher. Definitely needs to be higher, because only 7,000 for the melee defense is not gonna cut it. Just won't. This one we have the comic swords, so this one is doing a D pierce 8 minus power. So I never really used it myself, so I don't know how the animation looks like either, right? So this one could be good, could be bad. It just really depends what this one is doing. But this one, I would not say you need the alteration, because what we're seeing right now is looking at an A minus power. So I think, I wouldn't say prior to alteration, we should be looking at like a B plus power. So you are doing more damage than you really need possible. So it just, the stat wise, going back to the stat, it's not really that great, right? Come on now, it's too low. Come on, they gotta bump this up. Close combat and then heavy armor. Yeah, heavy armor. Okay, cool. But now into the electro spears. This one is pretty good, right? Close combat, but you can see effects up by 40%, so that's good. We'd definitely love to see that. Shot attack down by 30%, so you are trading in 30% shot attack, which I think is definitely fine, since you probably won't be running this part in like a dual type build situation. So having your actual shot attack being lowered, or you doing less shot attack, is completely fine. There's no worries about that, because you are going to be doing heavily melee damage anyway, so pretty good. Unless you come across like a melee EX skill that has like a mixed damage, where the melee EX skill animation may contain some shooting action in there, then you gotta question yourself, is this EX skill a mix or not? So that's definitely something to kind of note for yourself as well. But you know, this is good. I mean, I think we have this already, if I'm not mistaken, right? Somewhat of a similarity. I believe was it? I believe we have this already, definitely. I'm pretty sure we've seen this before. I just can't quite find it in here yet. Let me see. I know we had one. This one, the lupus, but this one, oh, are they actually the same? Not really. But this one has a worse condition, because you gotta have pro tag and close combat up at the same time. So yeah. So this one so far is not too terrible. We'll definitely take that for sure. But still, close combat, a little bit iffy in my end. Now down to the shield. So the shield, once again, does have some pretty good armor. Base melee attack is gotta be higher, man. It's gotta be at least like mid 4,000 or even 5,000 to make this viable. But here we are, just kind of low on the list, unfortunately. It is what it is. But this one, on the other hand, has one of the more interesting portrait. Double buff EXP effects up by 40% on each, so 80% on a singular parts. I think this is pretty good, pretty huge for heavy armor fans themselves. So this one is good. I think as of lately, we have definitely gotten a lot of support, especially for the heavy armor. So I really don't think it's gonna be that hard to build around it, right? Especially both of them that needs it. So I think anyone in the right mind trying to go for like a heavy armor build, I think it's actually pretty justifiable, because you do have everything you need essentially. But this one, it is looking more for like a, shooting based build, unfortunately, with the overall given attack. But this is good. double 80%, or it does double 40 and 80 in total. Yeah, pretty good. This overall suit has a lot of buff trait. The Electro Spears has it, the Head Portrait has it, so this singular unit itself is generating up to, I think, 200 plus buff EXQ effects, and that speaks for itself because you can definitely mix and match and you can still get more. Right, there's still some slot that we haven't covered that has buffs as well, so yeah, I think overall in terms of the Knight Gundam, it's definitely good. It's just refreshing that we don't have big scales for this specific unit, so that's good. This one is also an alternative attribute, so you can get some linked attribute as well. But it's just that the stats, the melee stat is just a little bit underwhelming than I have anticipated. Because like I said, I saw this one, I thought this one's gonna be good, but it's not that it's bad. It's just the stat, man. It just has to be better. But other than that, I think that is pretty much it for me. There's just a few selected parts that I feel like is good for alteration on the spot, especially like the shield. We have the head part. I think those are good. But some of the other ones, especially the EX gear, I don't know, right? Like the torso, the legs, the melee weapon ones, like those are a little bit iffy on me. Back part definitely go for it because for that triple S power, so it should definitely come in handy. But other than that, that's it for me. So this one, I will be like just continue waiting, right? Because we just don't know at this point in time what kind of schedule they're going for, especially melee based build. So for as we know, they can just drop another one 2 weeks later or like a month later. But that's it for me for now. But other than that, hopefully you guys did enjoy watching this, and then I'll be catching you guys on the next one.